host of the Gridiron.
In case you wonder who that is, that's the former Beatles drummer, Ringo Starr. Now, actually his song, It Don't Come Easy, it's a good song. He brought it up to the members of the band, and I'm not sure if all of them hated it, or Paul just hated it, or Paul and John hated it, or exactly what it was. But he brought this. He apparently, I don't know, he wrote it or he had it or whatever it was. But he had this song come. It don't come easy, and I was all the members of the Beatles wanted. So after the Beatles broke up in '69 or '70, I think in 1971, Ringo went on his own. All the Beatles went. All the Beatles had phenomenal, solo careers. Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, John Lennon. I mean, all of them had fantastic solo careers. But there's one song from It Don't Come Easy from Ringo Starr. It's a good song. It's quick. It's only like 2.5 minutes long, maybe 3 minutes at the most. Quick. Really good song. Really, really good song. But I saw this chart. Let me see. Can I pop this up here? Let me see now here. There's a couple. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I can pop this up. Yeah, here we go. Good. All right, good. That kind of goes to show you here. All right. Now, This is from 2014, and it's odds of making it right in the NFL. This once again is from 2014. Now, if you look, it's kind of hard to say, all right. But once again, these numbers have gone up probably a little bit, but it's not easy making it in the NFL. High school football players. Now, once again, this number's probably gone up since, football has maybe become a little more popular maybe than it was 10 years ago. So high school football players is 1 million, and this is from 10 years ago, 1,086,000. High school seniors, 310,000. The NCAA football players, so they go from 310,000 seniors in high school, now down to 70,000 college football players. NCAA freshmen playing football, 20,000. So high school seniors, there's 310,000. Then there's NCAA freshmen playing football, 20,000. So there's 310. Only, what the heck is that? Only 1 out of 15 and a half makes it to a college level. So basically, on your starting team, on your starting 11, chances are maybe one of those guys aren't even good enough to make it into college. On your starting 22, you might have one guy who might be good enough to make it into college. Not easy. Percentage of high school players that play in the NCAA, 6.5%. NCAA seniors playing football, 15,588. Now, there are a lot of colleges throughout the land. Obviously, you got your Alabamas and obviously your big schools, but then you got your Division II and III and all of that and everything. Your CW Post and your Ithacas and all this other smaller. The one really close to me is Rowan, small school, right? So there's NCAA seniors playing football, 15,588. Players scouted by the NFL, 6,500. 6,500 players are scouted by the NFL. That's a lot. Out of 6,500 players that are scouted by the NFL, only 350. Now, this is from 10 years ago. Now, these numbers changed a little bit. I'm sure they probably have, but out of those 6,500 that get scouted, only 350 of them get invited. So basically, out of the 6,500, what would that be? That's about 1 out of every 19 Out of the 6,500 that get scouted, 1 out of every 19 gets invited to the combine. That's like 1 out of a starting 22, basically. It's not much. Players drafted in the NFL. Now, this is drafted. It says here's 256. Now, of course, there's undrafted free agents and all that stuff and everything, of course. But so, invited to the combine, 350. So players that get scouted, 6,500. Only 256 get scouted. Get drafted. Rookies making a team, 300. Now, of course, so the way it is nowadays, draft picks are gold. I mean, they're really golden. So, I mean, you're finding obviously with the Giants. Usually, the Giants draft 5 or 6 or 7 rookies. Usually, those guys make the team. Now, they may not be on the team for all 4 years of their rookie deal, like Javarius Owens, but if we draft 5 or 6, 7 guys, chances are they're all making the team. But also out of the 256 that get drafted, you got undrafted free agents as well. So that's where I guess you see there's 256 that get drafted, but actually 300 rookies make teams. So there's some undrafted free agents. So basically, you can look at that case, like maybe 1 undrafted free agent per team makes the team, right? Percentage of players from NCAA to the NFL, 1.6%. That ain't much. 1.6%. NFL players reaching year 4. So out of the 300 rookies that make a team, NFL players that make year 4 is 150. So out of those 300 rookies that make a team, the guys that get drafted and the undrafted free agents, only half of those make it to year 4. Now here it has is the 2014 NFL minimum salary is $420,000. Well, that's not true. Now, I mean, the minimum salary is like $800,000 or $900,000, like $800,000. So it's at least double that. I'm going to say, because even like a guy in the 5th and 6th rounds making like $800,000 or so, right? But if you look at it, that what they're saying here is they made $420,000 in 2014 is the minimum salary while they're on a rookie deal, right? I guess that takes all into well, it says the minimum salary. It doesn't include the guys made the first round picks and all that. The guys making the big bucks, but then it says after their taxes, and I guess maybe they have an agent or something like that. But it says after their taxes, after the income taxes, the income after the taxes, they only have $252,000, which, hey, you could throw that money away anytime. I'm more than happy with that, right? But what they're saying here is they only make $252,000. So they basically, a lot of guys, as down here at the bottom, if you're lucky enough to be one of the 6.5 to become an NCAA football player, and one of the 1.5% of that group to make it to the NFL, you'll be lucky to get 3 years out of it. You'll be lucky to get 3 years out of it. At a minimum salary, you won't make enough to live on for the rest of your life, right? So you figure, right, if after their salary, now they're just saying here, this is 10 years ago. So that would probably at least double. I'm saying that probably would wind up at least doubling, right? Income after taxes, 252. So say right now, income after taxes, say like 500,000, right? So basically, if you get 3 years out of it, so this is just an average. Some guys don't make it that long. Some guys make it 6, 7, 8 years, but some guys make it 1 year. Some guys get injured. They never, like Darian Beavers. Some guys, hardly make it. They go out and then they get injured in preseason year 1, and they're never the same. They never play again. So you forget about those guys. You look at the guys that make it for 6, 7, 8. You look at the Saquon, right? Oh, McGee, the guy's been for 7 years. McGee, everybody makes a 7. No, they don't. But what they're saying, this is from 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, right? Their income after taxes would be $252,000. So if they're lucky to get 3 years out of it, their NFL career would consist of making $750,000, which is a nice chunk of change, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough to live off of for the rest of your life. Now, at this rate, 10 years later, say their average salary after taxes and all that and everything is $500,000. Well, if you get 3 years out of it, that's 1.5 million. Still not enough to live on for the rest of your life. Now, what you should do is take whatever, $500,000 of that or whatever, and try to live off of that for a couple of years. Maybe if you live within your means, take the $500,000, live on that for a few years, right? Take the million and throw that, right? And just forget about it. If you're 24, 23 years old and you take $1 million and you throw it somewhere and it doubles a few times, then you can retire off of that, right? But the $500,000 you try to live on, you can live on for so long, but then once your football career's over, you got to do something else. But if you take that $1 million and put it someplace, and if it doubles a few times over the next 30 years or so, well, now you can retire on that. But it just goes to show you here how kind of like, it's not that easy, And the thing is also, you see those odds. I mean, but you think about, there's a lot of positions on a football team. I mean, there's 11 on offense, there's 11 on defense, there's special teams, there's the kickers. There's a lot of positions. I mean, you can imagine how hard it is to make it in the basketball. I mean, that's, there's only 5, positions on a court. That's it. And, you got some guys who can play the whole game. Michael Jordan hardly ever came off the court. He came off the court, but not for very long. You could literally play a basketball, with like 8 guys a game with 8 guys. You ain't playing that with the NFL. So you see how hard it is to make it in the NFL, and there's so many positions. And I said, not only is it hard to make it in the NFL, but to last, a long period of time in the NFL. So you forget about a lot of those guys that come here, make the team for a year and get cut, never play ever again. Or that, like Darian Beavers, he got injured year 1, couldn't make it last year, came back, couldn't make the team this year. And, he just, I don't know if he's someplace else or not, that I don't know. But some guys, that happens though. They come in, everything looks like sunshine and roses. They get injured, and boom, they're never the same player once again, and they can't be on. You can get injured, maybe come back if you're on a high school team, because well, when you're with the best, if you get injured and you come back and you're not quite the same person you were before, you're with some of the freakiest athletes on the face of the earth. You got to come back in top shape, and if you can't. You may just not be able to play football ever again. It's tough.